Hey Taurus, welcome back to the channel. So I've been sitting with your energy today, and honestly, something really interesting came through when I shuffled the deck for you. The theme that kept showing up is about someone who doesn't just casually think about you anymore. This has shifted into something deeper, something that goes beyond surface level attraction or curiosity. We're talking about a need, an actual need to have you in their life. And I want to walk you through what the cards are revealing about this situation. Before I dive in, I just want to say this reading is about your future romantic energy, what's coming toward you, not what's already past. So keep an open heart and let's see what messages are meant for you right now. All right, so the first card I pulled is the Eight of Swords. And when this came out, I had to pause for a moment because this card is so telling about where this person has been mentally. The Eight of Swords shows someone who has been trapped in their own head, completely paralyzed by their thoughts about you. Picture this. They've been standing in one place, blindfolded, surrounded by swords that represent all their fears, their doubts, their overthinking. But here's what's really interesting about this card. Those bindings, they're loose. The blindfold, it's not even tied that tight. This person could walk away from their mental prison anytime they want, but they've been choosing to stay stuck. What this tells me about your situation is that this person has been processing intense feelings for you, but they've been afraid. Afraid of rejection, afraid of vulnerability, afraid of what it means to actually need someone the way they need you. The Eight of Swords represents that phase where they were telling themselves all kinds of stories. Maybe they convinced themselves you wouldn't feel the same way, or that the timing was wrong, or that they shouldn't feel this strongly about someone. They've been their own worst enemy in this connection. But the energy of the Eight of Swords also suggests a turning point coming. Because you can only stay in self-imposed limitation for so long before something has to give. This person is reaching that breaking point where the discomfort of staying silent becomes greater than the fear of speaking up. The mental gymnastics they've been doing, trying to talk themselves out of their feelings for you, it's exhausting them. And soon, they're going to realize that the only way forward is to remove that blindfold themselves and face what they actually feel. What I find really powerful here is that their need for you has been growing precisely because they've been trying to suppress it. You know how when you try not to think about something, it actually becomes all you can think about. That's what's happening here. By attempting to cage these feelings, they've only made them stronger, more urgent, more impossible to ignore. This person is discovering that you're not just someone they want around when it's convenient. You've become someone they genuinely need in their life, and that realization is both terrifying and liberating for them. The second card that came through is the Star. And wow, this is such a beautiful contrast to the Eight of Swords. If the Eight of Swords was about their mental imprisonment, the Star is about their hope, their healing, their faith in what could be possible with you. The Star appears after the Tower moments in life, after everything has fallen apart, and it represents that first glimpse of light after darkness. This person sees you as their star, Taurus. You represent hope to them, a future that feels bright and possible and worth believing in. What's really touching about the Star energy is that it's not desperate or needy in an unhealthy way. It's pure. It's genuine. The Star shows someone who is healing their past wounds and starting to believe in love again, and you're central to that process. They might have been hurt before, might have closed themselves off to romantic possibilities, but something about you has reignited their faith. You make them want to be vulnerable again, to trust again, to hope again. The Star also speaks to authenticity and truth. This person isn't playing games with you or trying to manipulate a situation. What they feel is real and sincere. They're being called to show up as their authentic self, to let their guard down and be honest about what you mean to them. There's a purity to their intentions that the Star highlights beautifully. They don't have hidden agendas or ulterior motives. They simply recognize that you're someone special, someone worth taking emotional risks for. I also want to mention that the Star carries this energy of wishes and dreams coming true. This person has been wishing for a connection like this, even if they didn't fully realize it before meeting you. You fulfill something in them that they didn't even know they were missing. And now that they've experienced what it's like to have you in their awareness, going back to life without you feels impossible. That's where the need comes in. You've awakened something in them that can't be put back to sleep. There's also this element of inspiration with the star. You inspire this person to be better, to reach higher, to believe in themselves more fully. Your presence in their life has a healing effect that goes beyond just romantic feelings. You make them feel like they can breathe again, like life has color and meaning again. That's a profound thing to be for someone, and they recognize how rare and valuable that is. The third card I pulled is the Hermit, and this adds another interesting layer to the story. The Hermit is about introspection, solitude, and inner wisdom. What this tells me is that this person has been doing a lot of soul searching about you. They've been alone with their thoughts, really examining what they feel and why they feel it. This isn't a surface level crush that came out of nowhere. They've been deeply contemplating what you mean to them and what they want to do about it. The Hermit suggests that this person is someone who doesn't take relationships lightly. They need to understand things fully before they act. So while they've been feeling this intense need for you, they've also been in this period of withdrawal, shining their inner light on the situation, trying to figure out the best path forward. They're asking themselves big questions. What do I really want? What am I willing to risk? What does this person truly mean to me? Am I ready for this level of connection? What's significant about the Hermit appearing in this reading is that it shows their feelings aren't impulsive or superficial. They've tested these feelings in the solitude of their own heart. They've questioned them, examined them from every angle, and the conclusion they keep coming to is that you're essential to them. The need they feel has been validated through their introspection. It's not just chemistry or attraction, though those might be present too. It's something deeper that holds up under scrutiny. The Hermit also suggests that this person might have been hard to read from your perspective. They process things internally before expressing them externally. So even though they've been feeling all of this intensely, they might not have shown it in obvious ways. They've been carrying their lantern alone, doing their inner work, and that can come across as distant or disinterested, when really they're just being thorough with their emotional process. But here's the thing about the Hermit. Eventually, the period of solitude ends. Eventually, you come down from the mountain with your wisdom and you share what you've learned. This person is nearing the end of their introspective phase. They've done the work, they've faced their truth, and now they're preparing to bring that truth out into the light where you can see it too. The Hermit doesn't stay on the mountain forever. He returns to share his discoveries with the world, and in this case, that means this person is getting ready to share their realizations about you with you. The fourth card that showed up is the Nine of Cups, and I actually smiled when I saw this one because it's often called the wish card. The Nine of Cups represents emotional fulfillment, contentment, and getting what your heart truly desires. For this person, you are the wish. You're what they've been hoping for, even if they didn't know how to articulate it before. The Nine of Cups shows someone who recognizes that having you in their life would bring them a level of emotional satisfaction they've been craving. What I love about the Nine of Cups energy here is that it shows this person knows their own heart. They've sampled enough of life to know what matters and what doesn't. They're not confused about what would make them happy. They've reached a level of emotional maturity where they can identify genuine fulfillment when they see it, and they see it with you. You represent emotional abundance to them, the feeling of having everything they need in the realm of love and connection. The Nine of Cups also speaks to gratitude and appreciation. This person doesn't take you for granted. They see your value clearly, and they're grateful that you exist in their world at all. Even if nothing has fully manifested between you yet, there's this sense of thanksgiving for whatever connection you do have. They count you as one of their blessings, and that's a beautiful foundation for what could develop. There's also an element of manifestation with the Nine of Cups. This is a card that appears when wishes are coming true, when what you've been hoping for is actually materializing. So not only do they see you as their wish, but the universe is conspiring to bring you two together in a more concrete way. The emotional fulfillment they seek with you is within reach. The circumstances are aligning. The timing is approaching readiness. What's been a dream is becoming a possibility and then a reality. I want you to understand, Taurus, that when someone sees you as their Nine of Cups, that's significant. They're not just casually interested. They've identified you as someone who could genuinely make them happy in a lasting way. That's not about neediness in a toxic sense. It's about recognition of compatibility, of mutual enrichment, of the potential for real joy together. They need you because life is demonstrably better with you in it, and they're aware enough to recognize that truth. The fifth card I drew is the King of Wands, and this brings in some really powerful masculine energy, regardless of this person's actual gender. The King of Wands is confident, charismatic, action-oriented, and passionate. What this tells me is that this person is preparing to take decisive action regarding their feelings for you. The King of Wands doesn't sit around overthinking forever. Once he knows what he wants, he goes after it with courage and determination. This is really interesting in the context of the other cards we've seen. We had the Eight of Swords showing their mental paralysis, the Hermit showing their introspective phase, and now the King of Wands showing the energy they're stepping into. They're moving from fear and contemplation into confidence and action. This is someone who is finding their power again, remembering who they are, and preparing to pursue what matters to them, which is you. The King of Wands also suggests that this person has a lot to offer. They're not coming to you from an empty place. They have their own fire, their own passion, their own life force that they want to share with you. They're creative, ambitious, and inspiring in their own right. When they tell you they need you, it's not because they're lacking something essential in themselves. It's because they recognize that what you bring to the table complements and enhances what they already have. Together, you create something bigger than either of you could create alone. What I find really promising about the King of Wands is that this is mature masculine energy that knows how to lead without controlling, how to pursue without pressuring, how to be passionate without being overwhelming. This person is learning how to channel their intense feelings for you in constructive ways. They want to build something with you, not just express their emotions and then disappear. There's sustainability in the King of Wands energy, a sense that they're in this for the long term if you're willing. The King of Wands is also charismatic and bold. When this person does express their feelings to you, it's probably going to be memorable. They're not going to mumble it awkwardly or hide behind vague statements. They're going to be clear, direct, and compelling. They'll make their case for why you two should be together, and they'll do it with the kind of confidence that's hard to ignore. Their need for you will be communicated in a way that feels empowering rather than desperate, attractive rather than off-putting. The final card that came through is the Knight of Swords, and this really brings home the message about forward movement and communication. The Knight of Swords is fast, direct, and intellectually driven. This is someone who is going to cut through the confusion and tell you exactly what's on their mind. If the King of Wands is about passionate action, the Knight of Swords is about verbal action, about communication that doesn't hold back. What this tells me is that you can expect clear communication from this person soon. They're not going to continue dancing around the subject or hoping you'll somehow read their mind. The Knight of Swords charges forward with the truth, sometimes almost too bluntly, but always with the intention of clearing the air and getting to the heart of matters. This person is reaching a point where they need to verbalize what they feel, and they're going to do it with surprising speed and directness. The Knight of Swords also suggests that mental clarity is coming for both of you. Whatever confusion or uncertainty has existed in this connection is about to be resolved through honest conversation. This person is going to help you understand where they stand and what they want. No more guessing games, no more mixed signals. They're bringing their sword of truth and they're cutting through all the noise to get to what's real. I want to mention that the Knight of Swords can sometimes be a bit intense in his delivery. This person might come on strong when they finally do express themselves. Their need for you has been building up during all that hermit introspection time, and when it finally releases, it could be quite forceful. Try to see past the intensity to the sincerity underneath. They're not trying to overwhelm you. They're just finally letting out what they've been holding in, and it's coming out with a lot of energy behind it. The Knight of Swords also represents someone who values intelligence and mental connection. Part of why they need you is because you stimulate their mind. You challenge them intellectually. You have conversations that matter. You see the world in ways that fascinate them. It's not just physical attraction or emotional comfort, though those might be part of it. They need your mind, your perspectives, your ideas. You make them think and grow, and that's incredibly valuable to them. So Taurus, when we look at all 6 cards together, the story that emerges is really compelling. We have someone who has been trapped in their own fears and doubts about you, represented by the 8 of Swords. But you've become their star, their source of hope and healing and faith in love again. They've gone into hermit mode, deeply contemplating what you mean to them and examining their feelings from every angle. What they've discovered is that you're their 9 of Cups, their wish come true, the source of emotional fulfillment they've been seeking. Now they're stepping into King of Wands energy, finding their confidence and preparing to take passionate action. And finally, the Knight of Swords is showing up to indicate that clear, direct communication is coming your way soon, expressing the depth of what they feel. The overarching message here is that this person has moved from wanting you to needing you. That transformation happened because they gave themselves time to really understand what they feel. It's not a shallow need based on loneliness or desperation. It's a recognition that you add something to their life that nothing and no one else does. You make them better, happier, more hopeful, more alive. That's not a burden. That's actually one of the most beautiful things someone can say about another person. I'm curious if any of this resonates with your situation. Have you noticed someone in your life who seems to be processing heavy feelings, or someone who's been a bit distant, but you sense there's more going on beneath the surface? Pay attention in the coming weeks, because the energy is shifting from internal to external, from contemplation to action, from silence to speech. The cards are really clear that this person is going to make their feelings known. You won't have to wonder much longer where you stand with them, and when they do communicate, try to receive it with an open heart. This is someone who has done their inner work, who knows what they want, and who has decided you're worth the risk of vulnerability. Thanks so much for being here and letting me share these insights with you. I hope this reading brought you some clarity and maybe a little excitement about what's unfolding in your romantic life. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Until next time, take care of yourself, Taurus.